Hello guys, in this video I will guide you on 3 ways to connect any soundbar to your Sony Google TV. So basically, I'll be showing you how to connect any soundbar to your Sony Google TV using a HDMI cable just like this one. And I will also be showing you how to connect any soundbar to your Sony Google TV using an optical cable or digital audio cable. And then for the last method, you're going to learn how to connect any soundbar to your Sony Google TV via Bluetooth. Now for the Bluetooth method, which is actually the simplest, all you just have to do is to head over to the settings of your Sony Google TV. So from the home, you just want to navigate until you get to the settings icon at the top right corner of your Sony Google TV. Now click on the settings icon, and then you just want to scroll down until you get to the remote and accessories option over here. Select that, make sure that Bluetooth on your Sony Google TV is turned on, and then from over here you just want to click on the pair accessories option. This is going to put your Sony Google TV on pairing mode, and you want to make sure that your soundbar is also on Bluetooth mode. If your soundbar has HDMI mode, optical cable mode and other modes, make sure that Bluetooth mode is actually selected for your Sony Google TV to be able to find it. Okay, so I have just changed the mode of my soundbar currently to Bluetooth mode using its remote control, and you can literally see the name of my soundbar now. All I just have to do now is to select the name of my soundbar using my Sony Google TV remote control, just like so. Now it is currently pairing. Just give it a couple of minutes. And at this point, using your Sony Google TV remote control, just go ahead and click on the pair button over there. And just like so, you should have been successfully connected your soundbar to your Sony Google TV without any problem. This is actually the easiest, and you can go ahead and start enjoying your audio from your Sony Google TV on any soundbar you have now. Now, if you have a HDMI cable, the process is also quite simple. All you just have to do is to take one end of your HDMI cable, go over to your soundbar and look for the HDMI port on your soundbar. Usually the port is labeled HDMI, and it is quite easy for you to recognize it. Just go ahead and connect one end of your HDMI cable to the HDMI port on your soundbar. And then you want to go over to the back of your Sony Google TV, connect the other end of your HDMI cable to the HDMI ARC or eARC port on your Sony Google TV. Your Sony Google TV should have different HDMI ports, but this is the port that is recommended. Now, once your HDMI cable is connected to both your soundbar and your Sony Google TV, you want to also make sure that both devices are on HDMI or ARC mode. Now, the way you put your Sony Google TV on HDMI or ARC mode is quite simple. You just have to press on the options or menu button on your remote control to open up this bottom menu, and then you just want to navigate horizontally until you get to the audio output settings over here. You can literally see we have audio output. Now you just want to scroll down and make sure it is set to audio system. By simply setting the audio output to audio system, it is going to automatically recognize the audio device connected to it and set it to that specific mode. So in this case, it is the HDMI mode, and we are going to be setting it to audio system, which will automatically recognize that a HDMI device is connected to your Sony Google TV. In that same way, if your soundbar has other modes like Bluetooth mode, optical cable mode, you want to make sure it is set to ARC or HDMI mode depending on what it is labeled on your soundbar. In my case, it is actually called the ARC, which is actually the ARC mode. And once both devices are set to HDMI or ARC mode, you should now be able to get the audio from your Sony Google TV on your soundbar via HDMI ARC. Now finally, if you want to be able to connect any soundbar to your Sony Google TV using an optical cable, the process is almost the same. You just want to go ahead and connect one end of your optical cable to the optical cable port on your soundbar. Usually it is labeled digital audio in or optical in. And then on your Sony Google TV, you just want to go ahead and look for the digital audio out or optical out. Proceed to connect the other end of your optical cable to that port on your Sony Google TV, and that is basically all you have to do. Once both connection is done, you want to make sure that your soundbar is on optical cable mode. So if I change the mode of my soundbar over here, the optical cable mode is actually labeled OPT. And then on your Sony Google TV, you want to also make sure it is selected at the system audio. So basically, proceed to press on the options button or menu button on your Sony Google TV one more time. And then you just want to make sure you select the audio system or optical cable mode if you actually have that on your Sony Google TV. And you can literally see the audio system over here. Once both devices are on optical cable mode, you should now be able to enjoy all of the audio on your Sony Google TV coming from your soundbar via the optical cable or digital audio cable. If you find this video useful, please make sure you smash the like button and subscribe to this YouTube channel, guys.